From the most embarrassing loss in North Carolina football history to an epic collapse in the rivalry game. What can you say? Let's go.
You don't want none.
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It's a sad day. As a Tar Heel fan, as a Carolina football fan, it is a sad day. Any day that you lose to your rival, especially Duke, in a fashion such as this, it's a sad, sad day. I'm gonna let Alan start up with this one, man. Alan, Nathan, we're your Hill brothers. We're here, and Alan, let's talk this game out, man. North Carolina comes out in the first half, goes up 17-0. Looks great. Looks like the team that we were hoping that they would become. They had looked like the team that they were in the first 3 weeks before the JMU game, and then all of a sudden, what happened? They hand over this football game to Duke, and credit to Duke for taking advantage of every single bit of it. Alan, I'm gonna let your thoughts start this thing. I'm still processing some of this. I got a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest, but I want to get your take on this game.
Well, North Carolina played, complimentary football the first half. The second half, not so much. They got pushed around on both sides of the line of scrimmage. But I mean, yeah, you're definitely sad that you lost the game, especially in the fashion that you lost it, being up 20, right after the start of the second quarter. But then, as soon as North Carolina scores 3 to go up 20, the Blue Devils get 7 to cut it back to 13, and then the crowd gets back into it, and it's a ball game. But you never want to lose to your rival. But if JMU never happens, I don't think the feeling that the fan base is going to have about this game is going to be as dramatic as if North Carolina beating JMU. But that's not the case. So I'm sure there'll be tons of overreaction. Um, there's a bunch of unnecessary penalties, especially in that second half. Offsides, pass interferences, unsportsmanlike conducts, holds. North Carolina gets, the defense steps up, gets a big third down stop, gets the ball back to its offense, and the very first play of one of the most important drives in the fourth quarter, especially to kill some clock, possibly get some points to put this game out of reach. We get a holding penalty that backs us up 10, so that's 1st and 20. But on top of that, J.J. Jones decides, he's got something to say to a Blue Devil, and that's unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. After the play, that's what hurts. So that's 2 penalties on one play, and that backs you up half the distance to the goal. And then he went from 1st and 10 to a 1st and 35, and you don't have anything in the playbook for 1st and 35. So and that's where, and to me that's the point in which this game got out of hand. Player wise, the offensive line looked defeated. The defensive line, I credit to them. They did get that that stop right there with a minute and a half to go. Then North Carolina gets a little momentum. Then the offensive line lets a free rusher right up the middle, and Criswell gets hit and while he's throwing, and that's the ball game. It's unfortunate to lose to Duke. Mack Brown has been undefeated against Duke since the picture under the scoreboard game.
89.
He's wore Manny Diaz's britches when he was in Miami, and it just so happens that Manny Diaz comes to Duke and hands Mack Brown his first loss and gives Manny Diaz his first win against Mack Brown as a head coach. So it's a loss. You got to go back to the drawing board. Pick comes to Keenan next week. And that's going to be another solid football team. You got to you lace them up and try again.
Let me start this off by a tweet that I have come across from Tar Heel Nation on Twitter or at UNC Tar Heel fan. My immediate overreaction to this loss is if Mack truly cared about this UNC program, he transitioned to a front office role in the morning. Hate me if you want to. Honestly, I think I'm going to have to agree with him. It's not that you lost to Duke. It's not that you lost him. You said just a second ago that it's, there's going to be a lot of overreaction. If the JMU game never happened, there's not as much overreaction to this game as there is, as if there has been if there wouldn't have been a JMU game. I don't know. I don't think that's true. Because you go into this game and you go up 17-0 against Duke. They barely had over 100 yards of total offense. Actually, I think they were under 100 yards of total offense coming into the second half. And Carolina goes out up 17-0. They get the ball back at half. And this game ends 21-20. Where's the fight? Where's the grit? Where's the determination? Where's the flipping standard that we've been hearing about? I can run the clip if I need to. Where is it at? Back-to-back weeks. JMU last week, the most embarrassing loss in UNC football history. Follow it up this week with an epic collapse against a Duke team that, to me, didn't really show me a damn thing. Yeah, they've been blowing out these lower teams, and they had a 2 overtime win against Northwestern, but I don't know if Duke's blowing the socks off anybody else on their schedule. They don't look that great to me. Malik Murphy looked like a guy, he was just kind of all over the place. And Carolina was handling both lines of scrimmage, and they both collapse at one time. They come out at halftime, and they just collapse. The defensive line couldn't hold nothing back. Star Thomas looked like he was the next superstar. Heck, at points in time, you were thinking, daggone, he might be the best running back on the field the way North Carolina's defense made him look. You had times when you had them in third and favorable, and first and 20? And you give them 16 off of one play. The play that Caleb Koss bust on, that's a touchdown. What are we doing here? What is this team doing? Where is the fight and determination? Offensive line played really good, in my opinion, but then in the second half, it's like if anybody wanted to get to Jacoby, they were going to get to Jacoby. And Jacoby was overthrowing Bryson Nesbitt left, right, and center. Then you add on top of the penalties, which consistently has been a thing. Mack Brown keeps saying, we've been doing our best. We've been having ACC rest. We've not been having penalties. We preach penalties. And the last 3 to 4 weeks, 16 against Charlotte. You had a bunch against NC Central. You had a lot last week. And then on top of it, I think you finished tonight with 10 or 11. Again, double-digit penalties for North Carolina again. What is this team doing? I can't come up with any excuses for them. I can't come up with a single solitary excuse. Where is that heart and that grit, that part in you that just wants to, we're up 17. Let's stomp their ass in. Let's put the foot on the Tiger's neck. Let's just beat them. This is your rival. This is the victory bell game. You've been lucky that you've won the last 2 years. And hell, you had this game. You started better than this game than you have the last 2. And you let them back in? You allow them to just march a little way down the field? You commit so many penalties. In the early fourth quarter, you go 1st and 35. JJ, shut your mouth, bro. Howard Sampson, quit holding. It's not that hard. Carolina got in their damn way again. And honestly, man, the wheels, if they hadn't been falling off yet, they are now. Just wait. I'll be surprised if we get players after this game. We will see. I don't know. All I know is this. This is a North Carolina football program that has consistently, over the last 5 years under Mack Brown, has done a very good job of recruiting, putting together really good staffs. I thought this was the best staff that Mack Brown's put together since he's come back, and this team consistently continues to underachieve. If you thought the players that were here when he first came back are bad, they've been cycled out. These are all Mack Brown guys with all Mack Brown coaching staff, and the only person who hasn't changed is Mack. I think it's now time to take a look at the situation and say, something's not clicking here. Mack is a great ambassador for North Carolina football. Let's call it what it is. He's a great ambassador for North Carolina football. He has done a good job of making North Carolina football relevant again. We have to give him props where credit is due. But we have to look at some point in time and saying, maybe he just isn't the guy to help us continue to move forward. Do I think that he could potentially be a guy in the front office that could help? I actually like that tweet. I like it. I think he could. Do I think he would? Probably not. I think once he calls it, he's done. But this team ain't going nowhere. And honestly, if Carolina is going to keep playing football like this, outside of Wake Forest, you're not winning another game this year. You are not winning a one. Pitt comes to town. They're looking good. They'll beat you. Georgia Tech, they'll beat you. Going to Virginia, Virginia's looked a whole hell of a lot better than they have over the last few years. They'll get you. Florida State, heck, I'll give you a shot. I'll give you a puncher's chance against Florida State right now. Still, Wake Forest, I think you'll win that. Boston College, Castellanos is still your quarterback? Nah. NC State, it'll be a tight one, but you're probably losing that game too. Carolina's in a world of hurt, and Carolina better figure something out right flipping now. And honestly, dude, I just don't know where this team can go from here because they're not showing the consistent fight throughout a game. And I don't get it. I just don't. It just doesn't click in my head. How do you have such an epic failure on the lines of scrimmage at one time? Talk about playing complimentary, right? Offense did a great job. Chip Clinton's caught a great game in the first half. Second half sucked. I thought Jeff Collins called a good second half. The defensive line just decided to just not show up. What are we doing? You had young linebackers in the first half. Michael Short and Caleb Valley in on every play. Tyler Thompson was looking really good. Bo Atkinson did a good job. Jacoby Cowan was having a career day. What are we doing on the D-line? Des Evans, shut up and play, bro. You ever hear crying because, oh man, on that 4th and 1 where he tried to make a play, it didn't happen. He just got pushed. He was like, oh man, I'm sick of it. Here we go. It gets all fired up, but then he consistently busts on other plays, gaps that Star Thomas ran right through that he's supposed to be covering. Mack Brown will not be fired, nor should he. But I think Matt needs to take a look and say, maybe I've done a good job of getting us where we are. Maybe I can help find somebody that can take us to the next level. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. North Carolina's clear that you're going to be at a turning point at some point at the end of the season, but I think if Mack Brown steps down in the middle of the season, that looks bad on him as a coach.
Yeah. Let me clarify that. I don't think he should, nor will he step down during the season. I believe once the season is through.
The only way he's not, the only reason he's not the coach at the end of the season is if, the administration, Bubba Cunningham, the chancellor, they just straight up tell him, you got to go.
Yeah, and that shouldn't nor will it happen. If that happens, it would shock the crap out of me. It really would.
Well, if that happens, then, North Carolina's in a world of hurt regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't let a guy like that go. Let him make up his mind, but I think you nudge him in the direction of, hey, Mac, That's the deal. Like once this get through this season,
Well, I mean, you gotta end the season. I mean,
yeah. You need to have that conversation. Like Mack is obviously going to make the decision, but he might need a little encouragement at the end of the season from
I don't think Mack Brown's going to need any encouragement. He's going to know whether it's his time to go or not. I think he said the quiet part out loud after JMU.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely.
So, I mean,
you don't let something like that slip.
You see where his head. You see where his head at. You know, he's just like Roy when he loses. You know, he's mad. He hates losing more than he likes winning. And Mack was pissed off. That was an embarrassment, and he was pissed. And he's like, whatever he said. If I'm not the guy to lead this team, y'all let me know. He was like, or whatever. That's the quiet part that gets said out loud. I didn't. I never one time thought it was time for Roy to go, but when he stepped away, I was surprised. But at the same time, I was like, oh, I can see it. You struggle.
Yeah.
Then Hubert Davis comes in, and he's done pretty good so far.
Yeah, he has. He's done a really good job.
But
he's done a really good job.
The struggle with the football program is going to be is, I don't know how many outside coaches are going to want to come to North Carolina, given the situation that's, what that is North Carolina football. But that's not about the Duke. It's a tale of two halves. North Carolina, I thought came out and played good football that first half. And then but give credit to Duke. I mean, they obviously made second half adjustments. They
and that's the thing. We can't crap on Duke for that. Like
they found something in that running game.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is we called it out consistently. They kept going to the outside zone. They consistently kept running the outside flipping zone. And Manny Diaz and whoever their offensive coordinator over there looks at it and says, well, I mean, shit, it's working. Let's just keep moving it. Let's just keep doing the same thing. They're not doing anything changing. They're not changing anything on our offensive line is whipping them. So let's just keep doing what we're doing.
And Malik Murphy wasn't helping the Blue Devils in the first half. He was like less than 50. I mean, he come out in the second half. I mean, he was, I think at one point, he was like 5 for 6 with 70 or so on yards. I don't know what his completion percentage for the second half was, but I mean, all those balls that he was overthrowing in the first half, he started hitting them.
And let's talk about that for a second. Malik Murphy really made 2 big plays. The big pass to Jordan Moore that was calling the silent. They looked at that Stick Lane had a chance of touching, and they ruled it a catch. And that was a 50-50 ball. The rest could have went either way. I understand them going with Jordan. I can understand it completely. And then the pass to Star Thomas for the first touchdown. Those are his 2 big plays. And put him in great position.
Yeah.
Great position. Because I don't think he threw for a touchdown. And the one that was almost a touchdown, Caleb Cost got there a half second too early and got a pass interference call on him. Outside of that Malik Murphy Star Thomas is your guy today.
Yeah, that was it.
And then a couple of quick slant passes. That was it.
Yeah,
that was really it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I got to get some stuff under control here at the house, but
Oh yeah, everything's falling. The wheels are falling off everywhere, brother. The wheels are falling off everywhere. But man, let us know what you guys think down in the comments below about this. This is a game that.
We got helmet stickers.
Yeah, we do have a couple helmet stickers, so it is that time. No matter what, it's a loss. Last week I wasn't doing a helmet sticker because it was JMU. I didn't even care. But this week there is a couple of guys that I would like to highlight. So let's give that man a helmet sticker. I'm going to start off with my defensive one, and it was a guy I did not get to see in the second half hardly. And you know what? I'm actually going to switch my mind. I'm going to go with Caleb Cost. Give mine to Caleb Cost. I was going to go with Michael Short. I really was. He didn't get any run really in the second half, and I was kind of confused by that because he was playing great. But Caleb, I thought today played a complete game. The bust that he had on the touchdown that hurt, and he was just a half a second too early there on that other one. But all in all, I thought Cost did a great job today. It was and made some key stops and some key moments as well. So my first one's going. My defensive one is going to Caleb. Allen, what you got?
I'm going with Power Eccles.
Yes.
They targeted the tight end a bunch, and he was there to to keep those plays from happening. He really cleaned up some of the gaping holes in the defensive line to stop Thomas on some of them big runs. There could have been a lot more running yards for Thomas if Power hadn't been in those holes to fill them up. So I'm gonna say give that man a sticker to Power Eccles.
And shut down that tight end, dude. He absolutely shut him down tonight. I mean, a lot of throws that were thrown to the tight end that Power got in there and broke up. But man, on the offensive side of the ball, I can't give it to anybody but one guy, and that has to be Omarion Hampton. He played a really good game. Offensive line didn't block for him very well today again. But for what he was given, I thought he had a great day all in all. And Omarion Hampton is a guy who continues to keep wowing us, man. And he is that guy. And I really feel for him that we're not able to secure some of these wins, dude. I really am, because he's having a great year and he's going to be overlooked, I believe, again for running back of the year.
I'm gonna go Bryson Nesbitt. Scored a touchdown, caught some big balls. Unfortunately, him and Criswell couldn't connect on some of the ones that he was open on.
Right.
But overall, he made some big plays. So give that man a helmet sticker.
Yeah, dude, that great selection, man. Bryson would have had a bigger day. There was 3 or 4 big plays that Criswell just missed him on, and even though Bryson couldn't do anything with it, he was in position, and the ball was not there for him, which is unfortunate. But yeah, dude, I'm 100% with it. Let us know in the comments down below who you're going to give your helmet stickers to, and let us know what your thoughts are on this game. And to know that victory belt has to go back over there with that dirty freaking blue. Oh, dear God almighty. And Coach K was on the freaking, of all things, a football game. Coach K got a freaking 5-minute interview segment in the middle of a game. They put the game on a picture-in-picture. What are we doing? Anyway.
Had to call in reinforcements.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Go to hell, Duke.
Go Heels.
You don't want none.